Peace to the tribe. Peace to the tribes. Shalom to all the khans. HaWaH. We are back with, of course, another one. We talking part 2 up on you. And before we continue, I would just like to say, I know there's a lot of know-it-alls that be surfing the wave, or at least they say they surfing the wave. I just want to make it clear that I don't be watching everything, researching pages and watching different pages. So I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know who this is, but we're gonna go ahead and get into this video. Declassified CIA document reveals you are God. The gateway process uncovered. And we're gonna surf the wave and see what this publisher has to say. You know what I'm saying? Glad to be back. I hope everything is magnetic. I hope your frequency is charged, because we still charged up. Niggas think it's a new year. We still charged up. This is still the year of the Drake Khan. Don't get lost in the sauce. This ain't no new year for us, boss. We still surfing the wave. Alright, so with that being said, we gonna surf the wave, and just wanted it to be clear that I've never really seen this. Picking up from part 1, you know exactly what we're talking about. So we're gonna get as much as we can, cause it was really hard, man. I couldn't watch this all the way through the first go around, which is how I was able to make part 1. So we're gonna go ahead and continue and surf the wave. Much HaWaH.
A declassified CIA document from the 1980s has been uncovered, and it reveals a mind-bending truth. The world around you is an illusion created by your own...
Okay, so right away I noticed this. And I mean, this just makes me think of something. So let's get it really quick. Shalom to the tribe. Okay, so us seeing that reminded me of this. Alright. It made me think of this. It's a trip, because what I say in this part of the song and what he's about to say maybe happened to link up at a point where I wasn't even trying. And this is just showing how much I haven't seen this before, because I made this some time ago already. Alright, some time ago. But this was already something that I was gravitating to, which is why I used it in this song. But seeing that right there triggered me to think about this, and now we really gonna surf the wave. Shalom, that is to the tribe. A wonderful wave. HaWaH.
Mind-bending truth. The world around you is an illusion created by your own mind, that there are alternate dimensions waiting for you to access them, and ultimately this information shows you are God. Sound crazy? I've devoted my life to studying consciousness and hidden information, and this is one of the most incredible declassified documents I've ever encountered. The shocking information within reveals a method for accessing other realities and a way to tap into the power of your own consciousness to transcend the limitations of time and space. This is not science fiction. This is
that right there also as well, right? I mean, sorry guys, I'm just surfing the wave and I'm seeing this stuff and it's making me think of, well, let's go get it. Alright, let's get it in real time. Shalom. So seeing that make me think of this part in this video where we're digging on the Americans, that is the tribe of music. But Pete, let's get it. Americans. Americans. we're going to get back to that message. Max HaWaH to the tribe. That is a wonderful flow. HaWaH.
Consciousness to transcend the limitations of time and space. This is not science fiction. This is a real document, and the secrets it holds are waiting for you to uncover. Now, before we continue, make sure you like and subscribe, because I'll be releasing even more information about this document on my channel in the near future. The document begins by...
Again, I don't know who this guy is, and I'm not sure about the works of his channel, but I'm just surfing the wave, you know what I'm saying? And if you got part 1, then you understand that I was already digging on this, and I didn't even finish this video, and I made that one. So now that we're surfing the wave on this, I'm just trying to get as much as we can. But it seems that me letting people know that we are the image of HaWaH makes them feel a certain way. So I want to know if it makes you feel a certain way that he's the one saying it instead of me. Because I'm just surfing a wave. And I know my tribe, we're just surfing a wave. But maybe it's the messenger that's distorting the message. Maybe you can only see the messenger and not the message. So we're going to go ahead and surf the wave real quick. Shalom. It's just another magical ride on the ether bus.
Revealing the incredible fact that reality is actually an illusion constructed by your brain and the senses. It explains that the brain is capable of constructing a virtual reality through the process of perception by taking raw sensory data and organizing it into a coherent picture of the world. Think of the brain like a computer that processes programming code to construct a video game world. Well, the document explains that the brain operates in a similar way, but that this process can be transcended or hacked, allowing you to have out-of-body experiences and tap into dimensions beyond.
They see it as it needing to be hacked. Very interesting. Very interesting. If you already got part 1, I'm pretty sure now you know why I made part 1. We're gonna surf the wave.
Hacked, allowing you to have out-of-body experiences and tap into dimensions beyond space and time. I'll be revealing exactly what this document says about how this works, and by the end of this video, you'll have uncovered what's described as a powerful method for breaking out of the confines of your body and the physical world, and you'll have learned the ultimate truth.
You hear the vibrations? He said breaking. You know what I'm saying? This is really like part 7. You know what I'm saying? Right? Of that same drop. But we're talking breaking out of one's confine or body. Why would one want to break out of their body? Shabbat. What would make someone want to break out of their body? Do you feel like you want to break out of your body? We're just surfing the wave.
Way, but that this process can be transcended or hacked, allowing you to have out-of-body experiences and tap into dimensions beyond space and time. I'll be revealing exactly what this document says about how this works, and by the end of this video, you'll have uncovered what's described as a powerful method for breaking out of the confines of your body and the physical world, and you'll have learned the ultimate truth about yourself and all existence. But first, you have to know something about the gateway process. Established in 1974, the Monroe Institute is a mysterious research organization that specializes in the study of altered states of consciousness and human potential by pushing the limits of the human mind. The Monroe Institute developed a training system called the gateway process for altering brain frequencies to a level that induces altered states of consciousness, allowing one to access hidden layers of reality beyond the physical world. This caught the eye of the U.S. military for its potential applications in military and intelligence operations.
Again, when we're talking about military and these vibrations, we've been speaking on the cosmos this whole time. So surfing the wave, what is really being said? What's really going on? What vibration is this? Because we're going to continue to build on and in vibration. That is the frequency charge. Because we still are charged up. Shabbat. but we're just surfing the wave. And we're reminding you as we build on your memory muscle that the military is still just a part of your cosmos. Shalom.
Altering brain frequencies to a level that induces altered states of consciousness, allowing one to access hidden layers of reality beyond the physical world. This caught the eye of the U.S. military for its potential applications in military and intelligence operations, and in 1978, they ventured into uncharted territories, evaluating the gateway process and its potential applications in the art of war. The military arranged to send its officers for training at the Monroe Institute in the art of out-of-body experiences, or OBEs. And as the years passed, the military's fascination with this only grew stronger, leading to a shadowy mission in 1983, where additional officers were sent to the Monroe Institute with the intention of unlocking the secrets of out-of-body experiences and harnessing the power for military purposes. And it was during this time, specifically on June 9th, 1983, the CIA produced a then classified document for the Department of Defense detailing the gateway process, the illusory nature of reality, other dimensions beyond space and time, and a warning of encounters with non-physical entities. Finally, this document was declassified in 2003. Now it will change the way you look at reality forever. The document begins by explaining how the mechanics of the gateway process, also known as the gateway experience, requires an understanding of biomedical models, quantum mechanics, theoretical physics, hypnosis, meditation, and references its association with the occult. And we're going to dive in and
Strictly for my tribe. It's so crazy to me, and I'm trying my hardest not to interrupt, but all of these words he's using is just letting me know that me writing strictly for my tribe was really strictly for my tribe. It's amazing, this wave that we're surfing. It's amazing. And that's word to Anion. Shalom.
it will change the way you look at reality forever. The document begins by explaining how the mechanics of a gateway process, also known as the gateway experience, requires an understanding of biomedical models, quantum mechanics, theoretical physics, hypnosis, meditation, and references its association with the occult. And we're going to dive in and explore that process right now. You need to hear this because this will change the way you see reality forever. The document explains. Fundamentally, the gateway experience is a training system designed to bring enhanced strength, focus, and coherence to the amplitude and frequency of brainwave output between the left and right hemispheres, so as to alter consciousness, moving it outside the physical sphere so as to ultimately escape even the restrictions of time and space. So what's going on here? The left and right hemispheres of the brain have very different functions. For example, when it comes to speech, the left hemisphere deals with the logical structure and rules of sentences, while the right hemisphere deals with the meaning of the sentence. The two hemispheres working together, combining logical structure and meaning, is what allows us to communicate. Essentially, the gateway process uses audio signals delivered through headphones to synchronize the left and right hemispheres of the brain to alter the mind, moving your consciousness outside of physical reality. But hold on, you might be thinking, how can the brain move your consciousness outside of physical reality? Isn't your brain and the mind the same thing? And if your brain is physical, how can it move consciousness outside of physical reality? That doesn't make any sense. That's because the idea that this is a physical reality and that the brain produces consciousness is wrong. Let me explain. The document states, solid matter, in the strict construction of the term, simply does not exist. The truth is that the world around you, everything you can taste, touch, hear, smell, and feel, is a kind of illusion generated by the brain. But what about the brain itself? The brain does not generate consciousness. You are not a brain. You are an eternal system of energy, a complex of frequency. The brain is what filters, limits, and conditions you so that you can experience the physical realm. Think of your brain and body not as what you are, but like a vehicle. Think that's crazy? Not a...
What did he say? Did he say a vehicle? Oh, we really surfing the wave right about now, aren't we, Shabbat? I mean, we're only 5 minutes in, and I'm like, I don't even know how much more we can get. 'Cause for real, I'm ready to go. But we gonna, surf the wave as much as we can. Like I told you, we gonna get as much as we can. But did he say a vehicle to my Shabbat? Shalom.
Term simply does not exist. The truth is that the world around you, everything you can taste, touch, hear, smell, and feel, is a kind of illusion generated by the brain. But what about the brain itself? The brain does not generate consciousness. You are not a brain. You are an eternal system of energy, a complex of frequency. The brain is what filters, limits, and conditions you so that you can experience the physical realm. Think of your brain and body not as what you are, but like a vehicle. Think that's crazy? Not according to neurosurgeon Michael Egnor and many like him, who, due to his work with the brain, has concluded there's no way that the brain can create consciousness and has abandoned materialism for idealism, which means he now believes that reality isn't physical, but mental, immaterial. Your brain and body are not what you are. It's what allows the true you to connect to physical reality. Except physical reality isn't physical either. It just seems that way when you're connected to it. Just like a dream seems to be physical and real when you're in the dream. The CIA document states, the point to be made is that the entire human being, brain, consciousness, and all is like the universe which surrounds him, nothing more or less than an extraordinarily complex system of energy fields.
Complex. Are we still talking dark? 'Cause that's the vibes I'm starting to get. I mean, he claims to be a professional in this topic, and even he's saying that it's nothing more or less than an extraordinarily complex system of energy fields. And we've just been surfing that HaWaH, you know what I'm saying? We just been surfing that HaWaH, so we know what's going on. We know what's going on right about now. We've got part 1. So if you haven't got part 1 and you're jumping straight into this, you don't really know what time it is. But we just surfing the wave. We just surfing the wave.
And body are not what you are. It's what allows the true you to connect to physical reality. Except physical reality isn't physical either. It just seems that way when you're connected to it. Just like a dream seems to be physical and real when you're in the dream. The CIA document states, the point to be made is that the entire human being, brain, consciousness, and all is like the universe which surrounds him, nothing more or less than an extraordinarily complex system of energy fields. The so-called states of matter are actually variances in the state of energy. According to this document, everything is a non-physical system of energy, including the universe, your body, and your brain. So what is the brain? Well, the brain is still a system of energy, of mind, which has the function of tuning your consciousness to perceive the physical world around you. The document continues. As psychologist Keith Floyd puts it, contrary to what everyone knows is so, it may not be the brain that produces consciousness, but rather consciousness that creates the appearance of the brain. Think of the brain not as what you are, but like a virtual reality headset that you, as an eternal being of frequencies, puts on to experience the illusion of the physical.
You see how they want everything to be an illusion or virtual connection? And we've been surfing the wave on your connection, and what you're connected to directly as the image of HaWaH. I don't know, because when this guy tells you, it doesn't seem to be so much of a wow. But when Natural tells you, well, guess what? Now everybody's in their feelings. And that's a trip to me. I don't know, Shabbat. We're going to get a little bit more. Then I think we're going to carry on with our conversation. Hey, how to the real ones.
world. A VR headset blocks out the information of one world and gives you the illusion of another world. Well, the brain acts in a similar way. Well, why would your brain do this in the first place? Why would it force you to tune in and focus on only this so-called physical reality and exclude all other information? Because it evolved that way to ensure your survival. If a creature was focused on, let's say, the state of an electron spin on the other side of the universe, a predator would easily hunt it down and eat it. Aldous Huxley said, "Each one of us is potentially mind at large, but insofar as we are animals, our business is at all costs to survive. To make
We are not animals. And I believe this is where we hop off this ride on the magical ether bus. And we gonna go ahead and continue to surf the wave, because I think I done heard enough. But shalom to the real ones. This is part 2. Let go. Actually, I know I saw the word animal and I was ready to bye. But he says a couple more things that I really think is interesting before we go ahead and say bye completely. So let's get it in hand, and hopefully we will build a connection.
If a creature was focused on, let's say, the state of an electron spin on the other side of the universe, a predator would easily hunt it down and eat it. Aldous Huxley said, "Each one of us is potentially mind at large, but insofar as we are animals, our business is at all costs to survive. To make biological survival possible, mind at large has to be funneled through the reducing valve of the brain and nervous system. What comes out at the other end is a measly trickle of the kind of consciousness which will help us to stay alive on the surface of this particular planet." The idea that the brain does not create consciousness, but rather limits and focuses the mind on the so-called physical universe is known as brain filter theory, and that's exactly what this document is stating. You are not a brain. You are not physical. You are an infinite being of energy, of frequencies, that's having an experience of the so-called physical world, but it's not physical either. It just seems that way. All reality is actually a kind of internal hologram. The Gateway document continues. The universe is composed of interacting energy fields, some at rest and some in motion, and it is, in and of itself, one gigantic hologram of unbelievable complexity. According to the theories of Carl Pribram, a neuroscientist at Stanford University, and David Bohm, a physicist at the University of London, the human mind is also a hologram which attunes itself to the universal hologram. Now, I need to make something very clear because I feel like I'm going to get a lot of comments about this. It's important to understand the universe is not an external hologram. It doesn't get projected out there like in sci-fi movies. Rather, it gets projected internally. So whenever I or the document mentions a hologram, remember that it's not a hologram that's projected externally that you could put your hand through like in movies. It's an internal mental hologram that's solid and interacts with every physical sense, including touch. To understand that better, think about when you go to sleep and dream. You can think about your dream as an internally projected hologram.
Attention retirees.
Hologram. Remember that it's not a hologram that's projected externally that you could put your hand through like in movies. It's an internal mental hologram that's solid and interacts with every physical sense, including touch. To understand that better, think about when you go to sleep and dream. You can think about your dream as an internally projected hologram. It actually is. Reality is a system of mathematical frequency patterns that are mental, they're not physical, and they create an internal hologram within itself that, when you're tuned into it via the brain, can not only be seen, but also touched, tasted, heard, and sensed in every way. According to this document, the Gateway process works by hacking the brain, so to speak, by synchronizing the left and right hemispheres of the brain in such a way that it begins to lift the filtering function that keeps you tuned into the physical universe and allows you to have out-of-body experiences and experience other dimensions. According to the gateway document, this is known as clicking out, and it's done by getting the brainwaves to oscillate at a frequency below a distance known as the Planck distance, which is a fundamental concept in quantum physics, named after one of its founders and Nobel Prize winner, Max Planck. This exact distance is 1.6 times 10 to the negative 35 meters, and according to the document, when the brainwaves reach a frequency at this level that is nearly continuous, consciousness clicks out and enters a new world. In fact, Max Planck himself said this.
And you wonder why they call your world, your kingdom, your Anion Regnum, the new world. And on that note, I think we'll segue just fine right there. Let's get to it, HaWaH, because we are on another journey on the ether bus. HaWaH. See, I remember in part 1, I was telling you to pay attention to the word sign, and I left it in my notes upon my community board to pay attention to this word sign. And then from there, we was going to get into this term signal, and this signal being a visible sign or an indication. You see what's going on? A signal being a visible sign or indication, also known as a supernatural act of HaWaH. A supernatural act of HaWaH. It can also mean a device on a banner. You see that? A banner. So this supernatural act of HaWaH can also be a device on a banner that is a seal, an imprint, a sign, a mark, a signal pertaining to a sign that is an identifying mark or sign. Alright, so as we surf the wave on signal, let's continue to get what else is being said. HaWaH. So a banner is just a piece of cloth attached to the upper, are we surfing the wave? Onto the upper end of a pole or staff. Alright. It is also a flag. Alright. A flag. A flag. Now, what flag are we talking about? What banner are we talking about? What signal are we talking about? Well, I'll go ahead and remind you, right? Let's get it. So this was the identifying sign, that signal, that supernatural act of HaWaH that I put into the ether. This is how we start part 1. You see what's going on? And if you remember when we were flowing in the song Cometas, I mentioned something about providing that heavy. That'll be the sign for you to be ready. But I think you should be ready, HaWaH, because you are now entering the supernatural. And this is your signal, your sign, your identifying mark. HaWaH. So, cause we're talking banner, we also see that it's an identifying sign. It's a banner. Keep in mind that it also means standard. Alright, it is a standard. It is a standard. It also means company under a banner. A company that also means a wave. And we're just talking that HaWaH. We're still talking HaWaH to the Shabbat. It also means to shine. To shine. We're still surfing the wave because, as you can see, it's all and still saying the same thing. So shalom to the real ones. It also means formally the standard of a king, lord, or knight, as in the Dark Knight. You see what's going on? We're still talking cosmos on you. Alright? We're still talking order. We're still just talking HaWaH. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and continue surf the wave. So seeing that signal, seeing that banner, well, for the real ones, it can be a charge. And this charge, it can be seen to others as a form of zeal, right? That is a passionate ardor in pursuit of an object or course of action. And as I've been saying, my tribe has been surfing the wave. The tribes has been surfing the wave. And surfing this wave, well, it is a journey. And that journey is a course of action. You know what I'm saying? We just still talking anion. But we're digging on zeal. And it means ardor. It can't mean an eager or a rivalry. A noble passion. A noble passion, for some, it can mean to seek, right? And that's what we do when we surf the wave. I mean, we're just seeking and searching and surfing on high vibrations. On high vibrations. And it's crazy, because I haven't said anything for a while. Now that I have, oh my goodness, I can feel and see my vibrations all through this ether. Very eye-opening. It's very intriguing. But nonetheless, we're still building on these words. It also means desire. Alright? So surfing the wave with these words, we're going to go ahead and continue. Shalom. So zeal said that it was a noble type of passion. Right? A noble type of passion. That noble being an illustrious, distinguished, of high rank or birth, of noble bearing or birth, that is well known, famous, renowned, excellent, superior, splendid, high born, of superior birth, literally knowable, to come to know, and my Shabbat, well, we know. So, you know, that charge can be seen as a zeal, and that zeal can carry that zeal can carry a noble passion, which is distinguished from everything and anything else. Some could see it as superior, but we're just surfing the wave, and we're gonna continue to surf the wave. Shalom. See, when you surfing the wave, with anion, it ain't about the skin folk, because it's always about the kinfolk. It's always about the wave, the vibration, the frequency, the charge. And when we're building on this frequency, this vibration, well, some might not like the vibration of noble, and that can be understood. So here I am surfing the wave and the vibration of royal, and I see with royal it says fit for a king, that is a Khan. It says pertaining to a king, a Khan. We're talking regal, we're talking splendid, we're talking magnificent. Alright. It means to move in a straight line, to direct in a straight line, thus to lead, to rule. And if you're surfing a wave, then you know what's going on right now. Because we still talking vibration. Still talking that HaWaH. Alright? Because we're just speaking royalty and life. And it's life and royalty that happens to be a noble type of passion that may come across as superior to those who are not surfing the wave. But that is just the charge of zeal. And I understand that my energy can be a high vibration, and I'm okay with that. That's why I always open up these presentations resonating with my tribe, with the tribes in this ether. So much peace and blissfulness unto you if you happen to be choosing up on this frequency, MHOE. We gonna carry on. HaWaH. Cause see, when you're building on this zeal, well, it said that this zeal was ardor. And this ardor is a heat of passion or desire. This ardor is a heat, a glow, an inflammation, a passion. It is a flame, a fire, a burning, a heat. Also eagerness, which is zeal. We're still talking that fire from part 1. It means to burn, to glow. In the time of the noble ones. Alright. Of the base passions. So surf the wave, because we're still talking that fire. And we know where that fire comes from. Therefore, you should know where this ardor, this heat, this glow, this zeal comes from. Told you it was a part of your natural powwow. And just for the record, this powwow is an incredible charge. I mean, if you haven't been paying attention, I've been showcasing just how strong this powwow is. And the message was given to me to claim this powwow. And not only to claim this powwow, but to share this powwow with the tribe. See, I've been speaking in the vibration this whole time. You know what I'm saying? I've been telling my tribe we gon' shine. And I don't see no sign of us slowing down. 'Cause to glow, well, that just means to shine. As if red hot. It means to glow, to blaze. It means to glitter. It means to shine. To shine. It also means to stare and gaze upon. To stare and gaze upon. A flush of a radiant feeling. A glowing heat. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm still talking that same vibrational. Still talking that same vibrational. We just gonna continue to speak that HaWaH. Now, if you remember, we were digging on this word in part 4 of the Cain series. And I remember we came across this term in venom. And I was asking how come they never told you that venom meant to desire? Because if you got that powwow and that drop, then you should know what's going on right about now. Because we're just talking about desire. And desire is to wish or long for, express a wish to obtain, a wish, a longing for, a demand, an expectation. Perhaps being in an original sense, await what the stars will bring. Because that desire's just from the stars. And what has Natural been telling you this whole time? Says a heavenly body, a star constellation. And we know what a luminary is. We know what a luminary is. This is part 2. So as you see, as we seek these vibrations and surf the wave, well, as we can see, it's related to consider. And consider is to fix the mind upon a careful examination, meditate upon, also to view, attentively scrutinize, not to be negligent of, but to reflect on, to consider, to study. It means to look at closely, observe, probably literally to observe the stars. Do you see what's going on? It also means with or together. Do you see what's going on? So it says desire is related to consider, which is a meditation drawn right from the stars. And I've been telling you that these stars are your powwow. Alright? And this just happens to be the channel or the stream that I communicate with. And it's been telling me to deliver this message onto the tribe. You know, my Khan hit me up, told me Shalom. And I know what that means. I know what that meant. So I'm surfing the wave. Cause we back in that HaWaH. You see what's going on? We're talking about desire. Desire to wish for, to await what the stars will bring from the stars. So this is a meditation focusing on your HaWaH, which is provided within the glow that is to shine, which is from that zeal, that ardor, that flame, that fire. This is part 2. So, as we talk about stars, as we talking about the glow, well, I gotta remind you that when we're digging on ether or aether, it says that ether or aether is the personification of the bright upper sky, space and heaven. It says that aether is the son of Erebus, which is the darkness, and Nyx or Nyx, which is the night, and the brother of Hemera, which is the day. Aether is often associated with the heavens in the realm of the gods, transcending the earthly realm. In classical mythology, aether is the material that fills the region of the universe above the terrestrial plane. The word aether in Homeric Greek means pure, fresh air, or clear sky. Now I want you to pay attention to that, to both of these, this pure and this clear sky, because we're just talking about ether or aether as we always do. Because keep in mind that glow was to shine as if red hot. And we got in part 1 just where this comes from. So building on part 2, we're just going to continue the same vibration. Alright? Because when you understand that this aether is or part of the Elohim, and that it comes out of this night or darkness, well, now you should be able to understand just exactly this transmutation Natural has been working on. And we're still building on this transmutation even now, Shabbat. Because as we can see, it's just the same thing. We're still talking ether. We're talking about the personification of the bright upper sky. And what have we been getting this whole time? Right? That glow is to shine, is to blaze. Ardor being the heat, the glow, the fire, the passion. Alright? Zeal being of this passionate ardor, this banner being the standard, which means to shine, this signal, which is the sign, being a supernatural act, of HaWaH. See what's going on? So we're just surfing the wave. This banner being the upper end. The upper end. Upper end. And this aether is the bright upper sky. Aether being the primordial Elohim. The primordial Elohim. See what's going on? See what's going on? So, when I say you are the image of HaWaH, there are no lies detected. And that's word to my kind, CJ Battle. Alright. So surfing the wave on this ether. Natural's been trying to let you know just exactly where you fit into all of this. Keep in mind, we're still talking about the standard. Pay attention. Because these vibrations are going to continue to resonate and make themselves known. Because when you realize you are the Etherian, well, you know why you have this connection to the stars. That aether being the upper air, being a bright upper air. This is the foundation, the base of understanding. And that base, that foundation, that understanding is a part of this journey of great death. Alright? It's a deepness. This journey is a deep, deep course. It is from a step or a stepping, which means to go. And we've been talking anion. We are the people of anion. And them anions are Etherians who have the faces of the ether. And those faces of the ether are the image of HaWaH. And as we can see in contrast, we'll definitely be able to touch on this. Because there's a lot of double play with that as well. But for now, we're surfing the wave with to go. Because we're on the go, my naga. My naganis. My nagas. Or the naganis. My nagas. Or naganis. My nagas. Or naganis. My nagas. Or naganis. Shalom. Yeah. Cause they ain't never getting this bad. They ain't never getting this bad. So as we continue to surf the wave, you know, I'm just digging on vibrations. And I was brought to this term, and I've gotten this term before, but I want you to pay attention. I'm talking about the Pulaskians, or the Pulaski. And the Pulaskis are the name of a prehistoric people of so-called Greece, aka the people who were there before the Greeks. And they were known literally as the sea people. And this is interesting, because it was right here that I realized no matter where we were on this earth, we were always seen as the same people. And because we were always seen as the same people, well, I began to surf a wave in this HaWaH, because we are still talking HaWaH. I mean, you got part one. So I'm like, the Pulaskians. Mind you, the Pulaskians are also referred to being the people before there was a moon. So we're really talking dark. Surfing the wave on that HaWaH, it led me to marine. Seeing how marine is found or pertaining to the sea, of the sea and seawater. It also means a sea coast, a collective shipping of a country. Alright. We're just surfing away. So being that Pulaskians are known to be literal sea peoples, and this marine happens to be related to the HaWaH directly, that is the sea. You know, I'm building a vibration on this sea, this HaWaH. And when I get sea, well, we get a sheet of water. We get a sea or a lake. We just get bodies of HaWaH. I mean, that's all they're talking about is HaWaH. It also means the dark area of the moon's surface. I thought that was interesting. We're still talking sea. While speaking on sea and how we were dealing with marine, well, marine was related to this Maury once again, and it really started hitting me. Because then I'm like, well, depending on what frequency and which wave you surf, we are also referred to as the same people wherever we are. If you're surfing a wave, I mean, we're talking about this HaWaH. You know what I'm saying? This HaWaH. And because we're digging on this HaWaH, I'm like, this Maury is starting to shine. Because we just talking that HaWaH, we're just talking the sea. We can see clearly. So this sea was related to this word, and it made me want to check it out, which was Amir. Amir, right? It is of a voice. Now this is interesting because we're talking vibration, we're talking sound. We're talking part one, but it also comes with this clear and pure. It also means absolute, sheer, pure of gold, entire, total, complete. It means unmixed of wine, pure, bare, naked, true, real, genuine. It means clear. It also means bright. It means to glimmer, to sparkle. It means to purify. It is a ray, a beam, to glimmer. See what's going on? It is a shining. It also means pure, once again. So we're talking about a pure, a shining of gold, a completeness, a wholeness, a wave. We're talking about a Shabbatah that is perfect. It is also that wata. See how we get right back to Mori. So it is related to this term Mori, which lets me know we were always called this term more. And whichever vibration you want to apply to yourself, because we're just talking the wata. We're just talking shiny ones. Pure. Keep in mind that this ether meant pure. Pure fresh air. Clear sky. So now we're digging on clear sky, bright, shining. You see how this is all connected? This is just vibration. Because we're just digging on words. We're just digging on words. And while we're digging on words, we're uncovering a cosmic order. The order of the cosmos during this cosmic shift. When you surf the wave, these Moors or mound builders are an ancient culture that some believe inhabited North America as early as 10,000 BCE. They were also known by other names, including Amexem, Atslant, and Tamarika. See what's going on? We're talking vibrations. And you were directly known as that vibration. I mean, you see it. You see it. So we're going to continue to surf the wave. Shalom for the Wata. HaWaH. So now that we understand who those vibration of Moors were, we were also digging on these Nagas, right? Because the Nagas are a race of divine or semi-divine beings that appear in several Asian religions, including Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. Right, and we know there's some Nagas in America, especially when we're talking about the Amaru Khans, the Amarus. Right. Now notice how it says that the Nagas are often depicted as half human, half serpent beings, but can also appear as fully human or fully serpent. They are also known as dragons or water spirits. Now I want that to bake your noodle for a second, because the Naga is the Wata, and we just got that the Wata were the sea people, and these sea people happen to be known as Mir, which is clear or pure, or Mori, which is still the same vibration, and we're just still talking Wata. And the Naga is the Wata. The Nagini is the Wata. These are dragons. Alright? We're talking about the Dracons, the original, primordial. It says the Nagas are protectors of streams, rain, and treasures, and are associated with fertility, cosmic balance, and the duality of creation and destruction. They are central to many mythological tales, such as the churning of the ocean. I want you to keep that in mind, because we got in part 1 that we are the way. And we're just talking Wata. It says the snake-like Nagas are not figures of evil like the serpent of Christian stories. I just want that to set in your mind one time as we continue to surf this wave. Shalom. Because when we're digging on clear, what we're getting is the meaning of giving light, the shining, the luminous, not torpid, but transparent, allowing light to pass through. See what's going on? It also means free from impurities, morally pure, guiltless, innocent, of colors, bright, pure, of weather or the sky or sea. You see what's going on? Of the sky or sea. Now we can't make this up. Because this art cannot be made up. Alright? We're just surfing the wave. It says not stormy, mild, fair, not overcast, fully light, free from darkness or clouds, of the eyes or vision, clear, keen. This is still the year of the Dracons, and we can still see clearly, because we're just talking again of the voice or sound. You see what's really going on? We're still talking part 1 on you. We're talking plainly, audible, distinct, resonant of the mind. You hear what's going on? We're talking of words or speech. So HaWaH, using the sound of HaWaH's voice, the words, the speech resonated with the mind through the ears, and you were able to hear and became a clear vision of the image of HaWaH. You are entering the supernaturalist. Uh-oh. You see what's going on? Readily understood, manifest to the mind, lucid, distinct, clear, evidence of land, cleared, leveled, clear, of sight and hearing, light, bright, shining, sparse, clear, loud of sounds, manifest, plain, evident, illustrious, famous, glorious. See what's going on? We're talking unrestricted, unconditional. Alright? Because I didn't know there was this version of hijack going on, man. I didn't know there was YouTube police. I didn't know anyone thought that they had to keep the Nagas in line, to keep the Nagas in check. Now that's something I'm not comfortable with. And if hijack thinks they're gonna tell me what I should think, or how I should feel, or what I should do, or how I should move. But they got another thing coming, cause it's over for that. Oh, it's over for that. And my cons, we clearly see. We see clearly. You know what I'm saying? Cause if this is the same HaWaH, then we should see you surfing the wave. We should see you surfing the wave, just like the rest of us. When we surfing the wave, we're surfing the wave as a whole in togetherness. Cause our message, though it may have variances, is the same. So why not just surf the wave with the tribe? But that's not the vibe, is it? Nah, the vibe is the police. And I didn't know YouTube had the police policing us already, on top of what policies YouTube puts us through. And it's a joke. It's a joke, cause them niggas is back. You see it? The niggas is back. Naga, a Native American people who lived in the Northeast at the time of European contact. You see what's going on? So we're connected to this. I mean, it's clear. And we gonna shine. My tribe gonna shine. No matter what a hijack thing. Ain't no policing us. Ain't no telling us on how we should come across, on what we should think, or how we should conduct ourselves. Cause I've been surfing the wave this whole time. And if you really been getting a drive, well then you should be on fire, just like the rest of us. Cause when we're digging on cloud, it means a mass of rock. Now, what's going on with that? It means a hill. It's related to cloud. What's going on with that? Whoa, let's get that back. What's going on with that? It says, in a modern sense, rain cloud, a mass of evaporated HaWaH, visible and suspended in the sky. Cloud. Rock masses. See what's going on? So they weren't even using this word cloud to refer to it the way we've been taken to refer to it as until recent times. So what's really going on with a cloud? Because it says sky originally meant cloud. And that's saying a whole lot. Oh, that's saying a whole lot. It says meaning cloud-like masses of smoke or dust, figuratively as something that obscures, darkens, threatens, or casts a shadow. But we already know what this obscurity and darkness is. So cloud means to darken. I'm gonna surf the wave. Because if sky was the original cloud, well, that makes a whole lot of sense. Because the sky is the cloud, and the clouds are in the sky. And the clouds are said to be just shadows. Regions of the clouds, the skies. It is the mirror. See what's going on? The mirror to cover and conceal. The sky is also the upper regions of the air. The rain, the wind, the heavens, the firmament. It is related to heaven. See what's going on? We're just talking skies. What is anion? Where is anion? Because when we're digging on what the sky is, it says that it's related to the firmament. And the firmament, well, what's that? The firmament is this expanse of space that is above the earth, where the heavenly bodies move. Again, we're talking about that arc, right? That arc of the heavens, the visible sky, the firmament, literally a support, a strengthening, steadfast, strong, to hold firmly and support, to be firm, a solid structure. See what's going on? So this firmament is dealing with expanse. This sky is dealing with expanse. This cloud is dealing with expanse. That means there is no limitations. There is no cap. No lies detected. But when we're digging on an expanse, it is a spatial extension or an uninterrupted stretch or area, especially of one's considerable extent. There is no interrupting as we spread out to spread, as we expand during this cosmic shift. We are not here to be policed by no one. No matter how you feel about this drop or HaWaH. That's why you're supposed to keep your feelings in check. Calm. Shouldn't be worried about what it is that I think or feel. You should be worried about how to control what it is that you feel. Because to expand means to spread out. It means to open out. It means to spread flat. Calls to grow larger. To unfold. To spread. So the spreading seems like an action HaWaH wanted for the skies, for the firmament, for the clouds. Because we can see clearly. See what's going on? Because when we're talking about spread is to stretch out, to diffuse, to disseminate. It also means beams of light advanced over a wide area. It can also be groups of persons or peoples. To spread out, to cause spreading, that which is spread, or that which is scattered. Now, can you see what's going on? Because who are the scattered? Who's been scattered across the plane, just like the firmament and the skies, the clouds? Who's been spread all across the earth, all across this HaWaH. Keep in mind that the Naga is the HaWaH. Alright? The Naga is the HaWaH. See what's going on? So who are the scattered? Who's been spread throughout the earth, all across the plane? When we're digging on this space, It's an extent or area or room, a period of time, distance, an interval, a stretch of time. They also say it's a word of unknown origin. It is also ground or land or territory. It is also an assigned position. All right. In the astronomical sense, it is the stellar depths, immense emptiness. It is also paradise that's lost. Space is also to walk or pace, to measure by walking. That is to go, because we are on a journey. Now it's interesting that it says having to do with outer space is from 1894, which made me think, what was this called before 1894? You see what's going on? Because this seems like an action that the Most High has, right? This spreading, this extension, this spread, expanse of expanding, this firmament of the sky and the clouds. So digging on plasma, plasma is this form or this shape. And we got that Adam and Eve were the first to form and fashion. It means something to be molded or created. Hence, the image or figure. And I know you're like, uh-oh. Because I keep trying to tell you, you're the image of HaWaH. And it's over for that. Because I don't care how you feel. I've been telling you for 7 years. I don't care how you feel. We're talking to mold, originally to spread thin. It means flat or spread. Now, if this plasma is also the sense of the liquid part of blood, pay attention. The liquid part of blood. In the sense of an ionized gas. Now, what have we been surfing the wave on? Anion. Oh yeah, we're talking about the liquid part of your blood. And who was in your blood from the last drop? Are we talking Mars, which was that fire, the fiery? And if that means to be flat, to spread, which was molded and created, formed and shaped and fashioned as the image. Well, you see these vibrations that we're surfing, and this is coming from nobody's book. We're just surfing a wave with words. Because when we dig on this plasm is the mold or matrix in which anything is cast or formed to a particular shape. In biology, this is the meaning of the living matter of a cell, a protoplasm. And this should be reminding you of the protoplasm from part 3 of that that Adam and Eve, the cosmic darkness. So this protoplasm is the living matter of a cell. It is the life within the cell, which is the mold of this matrix. And the mold of this matrix is personified by your blood, which is the plasma. But this plasma is also what permeates through the ether, letting us know by without a doubt we are the image of HaWaH. You see what's going on? We're just surfing a wave. Because when we're digging on blood, well, it says that blood is just fluid which circulates in the arteries and veins. Alright? It's talking about to swell, to gush, to spurt, that which bursts out. This is a very interesting word, flower. That'll be a wave to surf for a different time. But all of these things dealing with the term blood. Here we have Greek for meat. Pay attention. Because people are going to tell you one thing or another without considering that we're just surfing a wave on words. Alright? So, we're talking about the liquid, that plasma, because your blood is a plasma. So if your blood is a plasma, well, that should be telling you a whole lot. But just in case it's not, we're going to continue to surf the wave with you. Because liquid is that which is flowing, capable of flowing, neither solid nor gaseous. A liquid running, it means to run, forever flow. A liquid moist, also of sounds and voices, to be fluid, to melt, to flow, to run. Now I like this, these sounds and voices, because we're just talking the sound of HaWaH, the voice of HaWaH, the image of HaWaH, the flow of HaWaH, the liquid of HaWaH, the blood of HaWaH, the plasma of HaWaH, the Elohim of HaWaH. I mean, who else is talking to you like this? Because that fluid is just the liquid capable of flowing. We're just talking about to flow, to be fluent. To be fluent. See what's going on? Because when we're fluid, then we're able to flow. And being able to flow, well, we're able to stream. We're able to become that liquid, to flow together. That is the wata, which can lead to a deluge. If you cause us to rise to such an occasion, oh, we for sure will overflow you with this wata. Cause this powwow is not a game. It's not a game. And and we clearly see it's been nothing but big magic in this ether since I started popping off, and I haven't really even been able to pop off. We're barely cranking it up. We're just surfing the wave in that HaWaH, that is the flow. So you see what's going on? We're still talking that HaWaH. Because we're talking that HaWaH, well, of course, we're still talking a course of water that happens to be a current of a stream. That body of HaWaH flowing in a natural channel. And where are you at right now? You are on Natural's channel where we stream to the HaWaH. You see what's happening? See what's going on? Stream is also of the blood, so pay attention. Cause this is all the same vibration. Which is interesting, cause you should always know what vibration you're in. Way before you come out to try to edify anyone else. Make sure that you're pure water yourself. Cause I've just been speaking life onto my tribe, onto the tribe, surfing the wave. You know, KTCMHOE at all costs. And I hope you're dodging your own hijacks. So we're gonna carry on. HaWaH to the real ones. See, if there's not a conspiracy against the primordial, if there's not a conspiracy against the original, if it's not a conspiracy against the aboriginal that is natural to the Amarukas, to the Americas, that is Amarukans. If it's not a conspiracy, then we don't need to change up the words. We don't need to switch the words in the language. Cause see, this is already not our language. But for some reason, we see that they continue to do these things. You know, their game of semantics. So we gonna surf the wave. And as we surf the wave, we gonna make them tell the truth. Every single time. Cause that powwow said, make them tell the truth, Shabbat. And the truth is, we are the image of HaWaH. So outer space, or simply space, is the expanse that exists beyond the Earth's atmosphere and between the celestial bodies. It contains ultra-low patterns of particle densities, constituting a near-perfect vacuum of predominantly hydrogen and helium plasma, permeated by electromagnetic radiation, cosmic rays, neutrinos, magnetic fields, and dust. Now this is interesting because this is talking about plasma. And plasma is one of the 4 fundamental states of matter categorized by the presence of significant portions of charged particles in any combination of ions or electrons. It is the most abundant form of ordinary matter in the universe, mostly in stars, but also dominating the rarefied, shall we get it? The rarefied what? The rarefied what? The rarefied intracluster medium or intergalactic medium. Plasma can be artificially generated, for example, by heating a neutral gas or subjecting it to a strong electromagnetic field. Now this is crazy. Because this means multiple substance. So if plasma means multiple substance, then your blood, well, your blood is plasma. And you are this multiple substance. You are this hot spark, a man of fire. That is of blood. You see what's going on? We can't make this up. Your blood is what gives rise to one's family, a kind, the offspring, that which is passed on generation to generation. So surfing away, it says that this plasma is everywhere in this so-called space. It also says that plasma can be artificially generated. It is the most abundant form of ordinary matter. Now let's dig on this. Because it says in classical physics and in general chemistry, matter is any substance that has mass and takes up space by having volume. All everyday objects that can be touched are ultimately composed of atoms, which are made up of interacting subatomic particles, and in everyday as well as scientific usage. So if matter is just ordinary matter that is in the universe, what is this dark matter? See what's going on? And it is found mostly everywhere. It is one of the four fundamental states of matter. We're talking elements. The other three being solid, liquid, and gas. See what's going on? Plasma was called radiant matter. So when we were digging on plasma as a form, we got this. And I told you the Thunderdome is on the way. You see what's going on? The Thunderdome is on the way. Because now we're talking plasma. When you're talking plasma, you're gonna surf a wave, natural. Yeah. See what's going on? So this radiant matter, this matter that shines, huh? Plasma as a description of ionized gas. So we're still just talking anion. Says that this plasma is not free. I wonder why. So now that we dug on this plasma, let's go back. Let's finish digging on this so-called space. Because it says the plasma between galaxies, you see what's going on? The plasma between galaxies is thought to account for about half of the baryonic ordinary matter in the universe, having a number density of less than 1 hydrogen atom per cubic meter and a kinetic temperature of millions of kelvins. Alright. It says that intergalactic space takes up most of the volume of the universe, but even galaxies and star systems consist almost entirely of empty space. Most of the remaining mass energy in the observable universe is made up of an unknown form dubbed dark matter and dark energy. And now you know why they're so nervous about this dark. We've been building on transmutation this whole time. So what's going on? Alright. So I'm digging on this outer space, because I'm trying to see what was it called before. And I see that the earliest record of this use was in a poem called Paradise Lost, published in 1667. So this is recent stuff, which means the ancients didn't refer to this as outer space, but they're not going to want to tell you what it was called. Now watch this. They're going to tell you about the Big Bang, right? The Big Bang. It says the present day scope of the universe has been determined for the measurements of the cosmic microwave background using satellites. These observations indicate that the spatial geometry of the observable universe is flat. We can't make this up. It says that the observations indicate that the spatial geometry of the observable universe is flat, meaning that photons on parallel paths at one point remain parallel as they travel through space to the limit of the observable universe, except for local gravity when you're dodging all hijack. It says the flat universe combined with the measured mass density of the universe and the accelerating expansion of the universe indicates that space has a non-zero vacuum energy, which is called dark energy. This constant expansion, this spreading, HaWaH. Right. So surfing the wave, I'm interested, and I see that this has an effect on biology and human bodies and your melanin. Well, hell, your melanin absorbs it all, and it's reaching for it. We're gonna talk about that. Not in this particular presentation, because right now you're entering the supernatural, and I'm just telling you, you are the image of HaWaH. So they used to call your space the void. Alright, the void. And the reason they don't want to tell you that is because when you dig on it, this cosmic void, or these cosmic voids, are also known as dark space. Now, considering you've been surfing the wave since part 3 of Adam and Eve, you should know what's been going on, because we're just transmutating. This is alchemy, true alchemy. right? It says the cosmic voids, also known as dark space, are vast spaces between filaments. See what's going on? Filaments. It says, which contain very few or no galaxies. In spite of their size, most galaxies are not located in voids. This is because most galaxies are gravitationally bound together, creating a huge cosmic structure known as galaxy filaments. Alright? Now pay attention to this. You see what's going on? Because they're telling you that the blue fiber structures represents the matter, primarily dark matter, and the empty regions in between represent the cosmic voids. Now I'm gonna show you something, because this is reminding me of something else, and we're gonna get it. Shalom. Now seeing that, it made me think about this. So let's get a little bit of this before we continue with that. Shalom to the real ones. That is a wonderful wave of flow.
This is sound for that rhythm in your eardrum. After this, you may not ever want to hear none from nobody else. I make the scholars tell every single lie to free the minds of the commonwealth. Think I'm playing like a Super Saiyan, but it's stealth. Cause I'm a ninja turning naga when it screams for help. I make a scene just like your mama when the presence felt. I don't need a weapon belt when I'm making metal melt. Here dragging like Tiamat, I get the gassing. Scheming rhymes that keep me fly, but no Aladdin. I get the spasm, hypersonic but with a passion. Can you imagine my inspiration is everlasting? To make it happen, for sure you gotta take some action. Subtract the stagnant to guarantee some attraction. This holographic with special practice and good speech. Telepathic the frequency in which I speak. I am that I am, hot damn. Had a traffic jam, but now it's back to the plan. They can't understand how I snap like rubber bands over every sound wave, under every sound scan. Man, the vision to expand is like the grain of the name who was spread across the sand. Every plane has a frame that was formed by a hand, and every chain has a string that I gotta burn again, and I'm gone with the wind. Thought I saw my name in the sky. I don't ever ask why. I just place most high. Do my thing with the tribe. I don't ever shake sides. I'm 10 toes down, but I'm still so fly. Ain't no competition. We don't see those guys. Heavy with resistance like 3, 4, 5. Scribble my intentions with a single dot. Screaming you're the way, but we don't see no tide. Pride. The reason they be reaching from a distance. It's gotta eat you up when it's self-recognition is in the same place and you can't tell the difference. Running through your scrimmage while I'm out here on this mission. Listen, you ain't got no sway on me. From out that Big Ben, we got MHOE. And shout out 5 eyes, cause we on the 5E. If they ain't no family ties, then we know it's top speed.
And we see clearly now, don't we, Shabbat? So let's continue. So see how it says that this blue fiber structure represents the matter, primarily dark matter. And this is how a Naga really surfs the wave, alright? So this void. Now it says these voids are believed to have been formed by the baryon acoustic oscillations in the Big Bang, collapses of mass followed by implosions of the compressed baryonic matter. Alright. Now that's very interesting because we've been dealing with part 1. Alright, in part 1 we were already looking at how things came to be by way of sound. And it just lets me know when you're in sync, when you're aligned, that cosmic download will happen. The stream will open up and the influx of what I call confirmation. Some might call data or information. Was able to be poured and streamed into your very being. Because when we're digging on this baryonic acoustic oscillation, well, it says in cosmology, the baryon acoustic oscillations are fluctuations, aka waves, right? Waves in the density of the visible baryonic matter, which is the normal matter of the universe, caused by acoustic density waves in the primordial plasma of the early universe. And we cannot make this up. The primordial plasma. We're talking about the primordial blood leading to the primordial man, which is the head. I'm still talking principal people. That is Annie Young we, cause that's my Shikamaga dreaming. It says in the same way that supernova provide a standard candle for astronomical observations, the BAO matter clusterings provides a standard ruler for length scale in cosmology. It says the length of this standard ruler is given by the maximum distance of the acoustic waves could travel in a primordial plasma before the plasma cooled to the point where it became neutral atoms. The epoch of recombination, which stopped the expansion of the plasma density waves, freezing them into place. Now that's crazy. That sounds like what happened to the Tartarians. They couldn't expand into Prester John's kingdom, leading them to a freezing point. Alright, and now that we're talking about these baryons and this baryonic acoustic oscillations, that is the spinning or the cycling of sound. So this is permeating all throughout the so-called universe that they call dark space. It says the early universe consisted of a hot, dense plasma of electrons and baryons. Alright, baryons. In particle physics, a baryon is a type of composite subatomic particle that contains an odd number of valence quirks, conventionally 3. Protons and neutrons are examples of baryons because baryons are composed of quarks. They belong to the hadron family of particles. Alright. It says photons, which are light particles traveling in this universe, were essentially trapped. Crazy. Unable to travel for any considerable distance before interacting with the plasma via Thomas scattering. Now, why is this an action in so-called space? Thomson scattering is the elastic scattering of electromagnetic radiation by a free charge particle as described by classical electromagnetism. See what's going on? So the spreading is the action of HaWaH. See, we have this free stream going on in this cosmic microwave. Says the average distance which a proton could travel before interacting with the plasma is known as the mean free path. Alright, the mean free path of the photon. As the universe expanded, the plasma cooled to below 300 kelvins, a low enough energy such that the electrons and protons in the plasma could combine to form neutral hydrogen atoms. Neutral. So this is amazing when you dig on it, because the hijack wants to make this like a random occasion, right? A random occasion, but ain't nothing about this random. We're talking design, and we will carry on. Shalom. So when you surf the wave enough on that baryonic acoustic oscillation, you run into a term called halo. And this halo is said to be a ring of light around the sun or moon. Halos also derive from the Greek halos, meaning the disk of the sun or moon, which is a ring of light, a threshing floor, or a garden. It's very interesting, because when we're talking about the Garden of Eden, are we talking about the halo of the disc? The disc being the earth, as in the sense of light around the head of a holy person or deity. Right? And it made me think of this light in the image of HaWaH. Right? Because this was a connotation or referencing of someone realizing they were made in the image of the ether. Alright. And this halo happens to be related to this nimbus, which is a bright cloud surrounding a divine or sacred personage. Now this is interesting, because when we're digging on the ancient Israelites, it was a cloud that was following them. But when we got the etymology on cloud, it was talking about a rock and mass and hills, and that the etymology for cloud, it didn't lead us into anything. There was no breakdown. But here we have nimbus, and nimbus is a bright cloud surrounding a divine or sacred personage. It means cloud. Now how come they didn't tell us about nimbus and the etymology of cloud? It also means the cloud mist. And if you remember for part 1, we're talking about the Tamoan Khans. Well, where were they going? This cloud is also in the script, right? The ones that follow the people of HaWaH. It says the nimbus of HaWaH, the Father, is represented as a triangular form with rays diverging from it on all sides, or in the form of 2 superposed triangles, or in the same form as that when you dodge all hijacks. Alright? It says the nimbus of HaWaH contains a cross more or less enriched. That of the Virgin Mary is a plain circle, or occasionally a circlet of small stars, and that of angels and saints is often a circle of small rays. Alright, so we're just talking about an acknowledgement. Now this is interesting as well. Nebula is related to cloud, and we know what the nebulas look like. We'll get into that. But you see how cloud was shrouded in just the word cloud, but as soon as you get nimbus, well, now we're starting to get somewhere. You know what I'm saying? We're getting somewhere. And so when we're digging on this energy, this divine energy, well, of course we're going to get the Nagas. Alright, the Nagas are a divine or semi-divine race of half human, half serpent beings that reside in the netherworld and can occasionally take human or part human form. Nagas are also known as Dracons and water spirits. A female Naga is called Nagi or Nagini. So Aha to the Nagas and the Nagis to the Nagini. Alright. We're just surfing away because as we can see, it's just another word for snake or serpent. And this has been etched all throughout all societies. But it also means a cloud, or a mountain, or an elephant. But we just got through surfing the wave on cloud, which is the nimbus. And you see how it says divine or sacred personage, and it's a bright cloud of divine or sacred personage. So when we're digging on the Naga means cloud. You see what's going on? Naga, it means cloud. So we're connecting all of this, right? Especially as we're digging on this baryonic sound. Now it says that this BAO, this BAO is a signal, right? Remember how we got that signal being, well, let's get it, right? Signal being this visible sign, which is a supernatural act of HaWaH. This signal is pertaining to a sign, a conventional or agreed upon sign. It is also the modulation of an electrical current. Alright, so this signal, this sign that we were digging on was a supernatural act of HaWaH. And as we're talking about signal, I told you to keep this word standard in mind. Where did we get that? See how banner meant the standard. The standard. Right? And our banner or our standard is this. So you see, when we surf the wave, it's all flowing. Now it says that this signal is a standard ruler. You hear the vibration that's going on? A standard ruler such that the length of the sound horizon can be measured as a function of cosmic time. So when I told you in part 1 that them Nagas are bad, and the Naga means a cloud, and the cloud is the nimbus, which is a divine sacred personage, and the Naga is a divine entity. The Naga is a divine entity. Alright? Divine. We're still talking Wata. So with that being said, we're gonna jump straight into this Wata. We're gonna make these people tell the truth as we roll out for the Shabbat time. This is part 2. Halakha.
Terry Malick is a very old friend of mine, and we are contemporaries. He and I are both amateur astronomers, among many other things, so we're very into space. And he told me about this movie, and he said, I really do not trust computer graphics as a way to get there. And I said, well, I'm with you 100%. I continue to be very interested in what I call organic effects. And I said, I think that we could do some of the things you want using liquids and cloud tanks and things like that. And he said, yeah, that's the way.
What'd he say? Using what? What did we say in part 1? It was all what? We kept saying that this was what? Now, what did we just break down in vibration, surfing the wave? Let's get it back, because we cannot make this up. I told you we're going to make them tell the truth. Make them tell the truth. We are the image of HaWaH. And them Nagas, them Naginis. The Nagis are bad.
I continue to be very interested in what I call organic effects. And I said, I think that we could do some of the things you want using liquids and cloud tanks and things like that. And he said, yeah, that's the way I'd like to go. What I saw in the very first day of shooting with Terry was that he was looking for what he called the Tao, the unexpected, mysterious, beautiful, circumstantial event that would occur that none of us could plan. He couldn't plan it, I couldn't plan it. And I realized what I have to do is create a circumstance where it can occur, or something unusual can occur. So I would just say, well, let's just try something on a sheet of glass with water running over the sheet of glass, and we'll sprinkle paint on there. I don't know if it's going to look like a galaxy, or it's going to look like stars, or it's going to look like some exploding supernova. We don't know what it's going to be or how you're going to use it, but I'll try to create a whole palette of events that we would shoot with a phantom camera at about 1,000 frames a second. And it was a place where we could experiment. That was the whole agenda, was to be able to be free to experiment and try things that we could not be sure what direction they would go or exactly how they would be used. Everybody's converted to CGI, and I'm totally into organic effects. And so one of the things that for me came about as a result of working on Tree of Life was a complete conviction that it's definitely the way that I want to go. Because mysterious, unexpected things occur that you can't design and you can't think up and you can't draw. And they remain exciting on the screen. That's what I think that Terry was after, to create things that look naturalistic and beautiful.
See, Shabbat, when you make them tell the truth, it's a wonderful wave to be served. And you are entering the supernaturalist right here with natural by law, provided to you by, that is 432 Drop Nation. Now you heard what he said. We're gonna get a little bit more as we surf this wave. HaWaH.
Seconds of footage. The effect was first created for Spielberg's 1977 movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind. The clouds in this movie play an important role. They signify the arrival of the UFOs. Once these clouds start to appear, the viewer immediately knows something dramatic is about to happen. The legendary Doug Trumbull and his assistant Scott Squires were the people responsible for the effect. Under Trumbull's guidance and a week of experimenting with different dyes and solutions, Squires had a working setup, a big all-glass aquarium filled with water, and more specifically 2 distinct bodies of water. At the bottom, filling the tank halfway through, was salt water. Then a plastic sheet was placed on top. This acted as a separator between the salt water and the filtered water poured on top. Once everything was all set up, the plastic sheet was carefully removed. The heavier salt water would stay at the bottom and the fresh water at the top. These 2 distinct zones could now control the paint injected into the aquarium. Once the paint reached the salty water, it would stop moving further down. The saltier the mix, the more abrupt this stop would be. It's worth noting that there was no visual distinction between the 2 different bodies of water. As you can see, the ingredients of the effect are quite simple, but this is where simplicity ends. The execution of the effect was nothing but simple. Let's take as an example the size of the aquarium tank. For Close Encounters and many movies after that, the tank used was huge, 7 feet wide by 7 feet long and 4 feet deep. Then there was the sheer amount of water and salt required. Each shot needed 1,000 to 2,000 gallons of water and hundreds of pounds of salt. According to the VFX artist Gary Playtech, during the 6 months it took to produce the cloud effects for Raiders of the Lost Ark, the team used 9 tons of salt. These are truly ridiculous numbers. And then there was the matter of art direction. The VFX artists weren't dealing with a computer simulation, but with water and paint, which is incredibly hard to control. They never knew what they were going to get. They could control some aspects of the effect, like the flow of the paint, the rough placement of the clouds, or the saltiness of the water, but that's not nearly enough to control something as random as water and paint. Resetting for the next shot was also another logistical nightmare. The tank had to be emptied, cleaned up, and then refilled with a water solution. And all that while working for hours in an almost dark studio. Usually the artists would manage 1 shot per day, 2 if they were lucky. The final result though was worth all of the trouble the artists had to go through. The technique would always produce some beautiful organic looks. And that's the reason it was so heavily used throughout the 80s and 90s. Creating the effect, though, was only part of the challenge. The next step of the process, compositing, also introduced its own set of issues. Keep in mind that throughout the 70s and 80s, and even through the early 90s, compositing was done in a completely optical manner. The more mattes and effects used in compositing, the bigger the film degradation would be. To circumvent that, for the movie Close Encounters, Trumbull shot all the cloud effects in 65mm film, much larger than the required 35mm deliverable. He also did all the compositing in 65mm, and only once compositing was complete, he transferred the shots to the film's final 35mm deliverable. With the emergence of computers, cloud tank effects are no longer needed. Artists and directors nowadays have a lot more control over the art direction of similar effects. And the fact that they don't have to deal with complex setups and pure randomness doesn't hurt either. But that doesn't mean cloud tanks are completely out of the picture. Every now and then, a movie comes along eager to use this old-school effect. And when these very organic and realistic effects are combined with computer-assisted effects and modern compositing, the results are truly remarkable. Let's take as an example Terrence Malick's movie Tree of Life. Scared of the look of CG effects, Malick asked for Trumbull's help in order to build some of the visuals for the shots depicting the universe. Trumbull in turn used a combination of cloud tank effects and macro photography. His keen eye and years of experience created some stunning results.
See, it's always been that HaWaH. And I kept telling you it was that HaWaH. We gonna always be that HaWaH. As long as you know that the HaWaH is the Naga. And the Naga is the image of HaWaH. HaWaH to the tribe, to the tribes. Max HaWaH for the vibes.
Of course, the movie still used computer graphics and modern compositing to complete the effects, but it was nice to see an old effect take center stage.
And with that being said, we're gonna carry on to the next one. So until next time, Shabbat, continue to vibe up, because we will be back. We will be back with another Max HaWaH and Shalom.